Oh, yeah, friends, welcome in. I have to make sure that this is live. Just a sec. I've been thinking about just how nasty everybody is in that immediate family. I mean, Janie's in that sense. So I pulled up this Adventures Underwater UK video who has the clips of the conversations with Logan McKenzie. I had to go back and reflect a little bit, and I thought we should do that together. What's going on down there, Susan Bizio? Callie O? I got my hair cut today. I'm not completely satisfied, but I'm not going to whine about it. It'll grow. I'll go back next month or something and get it fixed. I had a new person doing my hair. I think they were probably new. Violating my face. It's not the haircut. I wanted a little trimming off my eyebrows, and fuck, it felt like she was plucking them like crazy. Not like that, you idiot. It hurt. Did I go to Bo Rick's or First Choice, AB? I just went to this place a couple blocks over from me. I had to get some groceries, so I thought I'd just stop in. She was nice enough. She probably wasn't used to doing my hair in that sense. It's very tricky. It's just a little rough, that's all. I didn't want to be rude, but I noticed it. For sure. And I noticed that, holy shit, my eyebrows are a lot thinner than... She took a lot off those eyebrows. Like, what the fuck? How much do you think they grew? I mean, just a little bit. Just take down the long ones. It's almost like she penciled them in a sense. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to get my my pencil out and do some darkening. What's up, sweet tea? But I'm not one to complain. It's hair, and it'll grow back. I realize that I'm not the one. I wouldn't have complained, but I'm not sure if she knew what I really meant in the first place, what I wanted. And I mean, it's not complicated. It's not like it's a style in that sense. But we had different interpretations. Maybe she's not used to being gentle on a man before. I noticed the difference. I noticed. It's going well, Chelsea. We're just over. They've been talking enough over there. I was going to go up over on Shannon's. First of all, her name's Shannon, not Shannon. The hell are you up there? You're watching too much true crime in that sense. Everybody's name isn't Shannon. That's just a narcissist's way of making their own name special. No, that's Shannon, okay, from Shenanigans. Not Shannon. The hell is this? I'm not even going up there. When you get Sunny talking in that sense, she never wants to shut up. She's nice enough. I mean, and it's fine. It's good. I mean, that's what you want. I need. Hold on. We've got drinks being doled out here. Yeah, so it's my own fault. At least she sent me a message to see if I wanted to stop by and stop. I'm like, well, I'm out getting like tortured at the hairdressers at this point in time. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to come home and I'm going to go up there. That, especially when I did want to make a scene though. Then that fucking idiot Kent came into chat. This guy is a fucking crackhead. So I started telling him that in chat. I didn't want to go too far. Then I didn't want to take over if I did go up there. So it's like, you know what? I'll just go up another time. You and your friend Sonny Austin can talk people's ear fucking off. Then I noticed the numbers dropping. And it's like, yeah, you know what? There's probably others out there that need to get the hell out too.
Retard alert, class!
Oops, I left those open. Excuse me. Oh yeah, Kelly. Ronnie Mexico, is that Daniel's fake name in chat? That Ron Mexico idiot has been around since the beginning. Daniel, you're such a spaz, dude. Walking around making arguments on his behalf. We're far past that point. It's too late for that shit, sunshine. I can't fucking wait until they slap the cuffs on these sons of bitches. And I was thinking when I was in there, I think Janie McKenzie's is going to be my favorite. It's going to be my favorite. They're all going to have separate trials in that sense for different things. And I can't wait till Janie takes the stand in her own defense. I can see it now. You watch. I called it here. That's why I said it out loud. We can refer back to it in the future. Excuse me. She is going to be on the cover of magazines. I can feel it now. Oh, you've always suspected that Ron Mexico is Logan? Yeah, well, it's definitely somebody who's on their team in that sense. That's Derwood and Kent's team. What a bunch of spaz. Dude, I can't even believe it. Oh, yes. Kent loves to walk around and pretend that he's so fucking educated. He's so right and everybody else is wrong in that sense when he's the biggest fucking retard that you've ever seen. What a fucking idiot. Huge chomo vibes. They all act like they're sex offenders. It's because they are. They just haven't been caught yet. Yeah, Norbeast just says yours will be softwood, getting the cuffs on him. What do you figure that he's guilty? There's so much when it comes to Derwood that we don't know. Those guys are like rinse and repeat. Him and Jordan in that sense. It's fine when you've never met Jordan and he has all this to say to you, but when you've met him the second time and the third time and talked to him, and it's almost like the exact same conversation and the same points being brought up, and it's more important that there's a narrative being pushed rather than a conversation being had. Yeah, it stinks to high heaven. Norbeast, you're saying the Derwood impeding an investigation and basically stirring the pot. I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I mean, everybody can say what they want, but only one person did what Derwood was doing at that particular time. I don't know if that's necessarily illegal, but what he's doing behind the scenes and helping the conspiracy, well, that'll come out over time. Really, he's just coming up with, who knows to what length it goes to, but really he's just parroting whatever Janie tells him, which tells you everything from the investigator's standpoint. Are they going to pursue it? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly. I like to let my imagination run and speculate away. It doesn't matter to the case at this point in time. What you can really identify is the screaming red flag about this crew wanting just to convince you that child safety isn't really a concern around there. And the obvious isn't true. Fuck. To have a person like Kent go around and try to put all of these ideas in your head as though he knows is so telling. On a secondhand embarrassment, but beyond level. It's you who doesn't know Kent, if anybody doesn't know. What a fucking goof. When it comes to these situations, Ginger, you're talking it's an online echo chamber with them. Well, it's a fun dig at them, but when it comes to situations like this, there's no gray area. There's no room for right and wrong. We try to figure things out for a reason in order to figure out what happened to Jack and Lily. And we know every step of the way those fucking idiots are trying to portray the opposite in defense of the guilty parties, which is the opposite of what an individual needs to do for Jack and Lily. All while claiming to be for Jack and Lily. In fact, Kent selling keychains and window fucking stickers, bracelets, and all kinds of gear because that's spreading awareness. What a fucking loser you are, dude. I just spread more awareness to the community talking about you in context with Jack and Lily than you've done. You can walk around and parade this in front of the RCMP and get your picture on global news. That just allows everybody to sit back and point their fingers at you, fun boy. You have all kinds of things to... What do you think is going to happen when these assholes get locked up? You going to wait till that point and apologize? Is that what you're planning on doing? It's going to be far too late for that, son. So you'll still be on Daniel's side. You'll still be on the side of the killers of these children. Because that's just the type of cocksucker you are. That's the type of cocksucker Derwood is. There's no room for error there. There's no room for, I trust Danny. No, you fucking idiot. What motivates these two cocksuckers to be doing what it is that they're doing? That's my question. It's relevant, sadly, to this particular case. That's going to come out over time if it hasn't already come out already. People can see what you're all about. Maybe the RCMP are on to Kent as well, Cali OG. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe. Well, what? I mean, it's hard to ignore. Maybe they've all got a keychain. Maybe they'll have a keychain on their cruisers. Let me switch this over to Adventures Underwater UK. What a fuck! That fucking asshole. That gets my goat. Fuck. Let's see here. What did we do? This is an underrated channel, by the way, everybody. Adventures Underwater UK, very underrated, in my opinion. Wait, 1966 says couldn't have insurance on his business, remember? Fuck, that guy doesn't have a business. Shouldn't you be busy businessing right now, Kent? Oh, he can't. Not until he reaches a certain goal with his GoFundMe. It's not like you have any legitimate GoFundMes out. Your GoFundMes are fucking bullshit, Kent. You spaz. He's probably down at the fucking hockey rink sipping on Tim Hortons watching all the little boys play hockey. All the peewees and under. Hanging out like a little puck bunny in a wheelchair. I'm going to fucking throw that wheelchair with him on it right down the highest hill into Halifax Harbor. That's what's going to end up happening. And it's going to be all on my fucking channel. I'm going to live stream it. And then I'm going to cut it up, edit it up. I'm going to send it around, all kinds of shorts. I'm going to make all kinds of money on that shit. AB, do I think Kent's a pedo? Yep. Absolutely I do. That's why I say that. Absolutely I do. No question about it. Oh, you're not a chomo, Kent? Well, why are you acting like one? Why all the chomo-like behavior? That's not for me to figure out. That's for him to sort out. That's not my fucking problem. But I've got no problem, like I have no problem in public calling that fucking behavior out. That's the only reason I'd show up to those stupid Jack and Lily vigils that they throw. Stupid fucking shit. Little photo op. Those producers at CBC must just fucking love it. There's a counterculture within production back there. I know it. You can tell by the way that they edit their videos together, I'd say. They already know what all the little things are that people want to see and look at. It's all about observing you, not so much of the words that come out of your mouth, you fucking scoundrels. Kent's just so active in the community online. Bullshit. I don't know who these fucking assholes think that they're fooling. I know all kinds of people who are active in the community and they don't spend any time because they're too busy being active in the community. Different groups, choirs, volunteering for the professional or the like job. What does Kent volunteer at? Is this what you would say contributing? See, he only goes as far to fool the people who are following in that sense, who are interested in that particular information. Nobody else out there can see it. I wish it was like Pinocchio. That fucking guy's nose would be so long. There's nothing about or that comes out of Derwood's mouth that anybody should be believing. If you've talked to Derwood, talk to him again and tell me that the conversation wasn't the exact same as you had with that guy the first time. If you could even have a conversation with them. Carol Johansson, good to see you. He's a skeezed out math head, especially when you see the videos of him from the first time. Oh my God. Who are you talking about? I'm back at the start, so I just heard about the eyebrows. Yikes, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, don't remind me. I'm feeling them right now as you mentioned that. Let's just say they're as shortest as they've ever fucking been. I just wanted her to trim it because they get bushy. I just wanted you to trim that. I don't even want to go there. It'll grow back, I'm sure. Holy shit. I have a fucking cold face. She didn't even get the part that I wanted trimmed. Oh, fuck. I have to do these things myself. I knew it. I see. Now I'm fixated on it. I'm focused on it. No, it could have been done a little better. But I didn't say anything. I even gave her a tip. Pissed me right off. No, nobody's manscaping me. Just a regular old haircut. It was supposed to be there. Fully replaced within 3 months. Jesus. Kent needs to follow the back road back to stupid land. That's a good statement, Patriot Girl. As we get older, they don't grow back as well. Oh, fuck, don't remind me! Yeah, I mean, how much are you going to fucking trim off that? My eyebrows. Usually you can take like the small brush, right? And you have like the trimmers and you just get the ends and leave it. Make them all uniform because eyebrow hair can get out of whack. Some in your eyebrows will grow and it'll keep growing and growing and growing. Next thing you know, it'll be 6 inches long. It's out of control. An out of control hair, just one. That's what needs to be trimmed. From me using my brain too much. Thinking too hard. DMC was going to look for Jack and Lily forever. Kind of like OJ was. Is he out every morning in the wood and still looking for the children? He is full of crap. Loser, man. How can anyone harm children? Come on, exactly. Tom Lou, 2023. Yeah. Like, why even say those things in the moment? You know these are the things that are going to come back to you over time. How's that looking going, Daniel? Yeah, it was only a couple days later until he told everybody that there's no place left to look. It's not really worth looking anymore because he doesn't think that they're in the bush. Notice that he's talking about all the things that he doesn't believe. All of the important factors. He chooses to focus on the absolute furthest thing from the focus of the moment. Artie Man 021. Kent has about 5 kilometers of dense woods in his backyards. Runs right into his head. Right dead spit in the middle, he has a fair-sized dwelling, as big as his house. Looks like he can only access. Like only he can access? Why don't you get down there, Artie Man, and make us a video and upload it? Have a good look around there for us. Maybe he ate the kids. Carol says, oh yeah, the old I'm going to look for the kids forever. Yeah, that's like Janie seeing that she was going to go to the next memorial or vigil because she knew the kids were never coming back. Well, boy, you're a real stickler. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Listen, nothing makes sense. What do we know? Or what does Judge Judy tell us about the scenario when things don't make sense? Where are you, Janie?
Years or so. Due to because my neighbor, which I'm not going to mention, is known for stealing property. And that was one thing that I did not want him to take. And I also want to mention too, someone, I can't tell you who, has broken in, when Daniel and I were away, has broken in to our trailer and have taken a few things.
as opposed to all of the shit you just toss out of the trailer under the front lawn? How would you ever know? How would you know to begin with what's missing and what's not missing in that shithole? Would they come in and steal your glass dick? Come in and steal the money out of your wallet? That's probably Daniel. Oh, she doesn't need to... she's not going to tell you them, Ilium. It's probably that Bradley Wong. Let me tell you guys before you start. That guy's known for stealing. Listen, how is it you just don't get the idea, like right there, Kent? You're talking to the guilty party. This bitch is lying about something, and it has everything to do with whatever happened to Jack and Lily. And you want to go befriend them. You want to go pander to their every need. You want to get in there and exploit the situation for your own minimal financial gains, selling stupid little decals and trinkets branded with Jack and Lily Sullivan's name. Nobody is the wiser to your bullshit. So you think. What are you known for, Janie?
I'm not going to say what they are, but have taken a few things. And this has all been reported to the investigators. And yes, we still have drones.
Well, thanks for making it easier for the investigators, Janie, by the way. You're asking Janie what's going on, and the only thing she's doing at the moment is pointing fingers and telling you what somebody who just said something from her perspective against her. Why would you be? You're the one who just signaled to the investigators that you're sensitive to this particular question, thereby giving yourself away. Doesn't matter if it was true or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that the information that Mr. Bradley Wong spilt on your ass in the moment. See, it required her. She really made a mistake. They both made a mistake in how they handled that. Fuck, guys, you guys are looking for an out. You could have picked up on that out. It had to have been you guys in the car, or at least Daniel. Because if it was anybody else, you had a way out there in the moment. And instead of taking that out, you just up and deny that the claims are even true. Now, what kind of parent in an emergency situation wouldn't be holding on to that as some sort of evidence that a stranger abduction had occurred? Such strong witness testimony from two different people, Justin Smith and Mr. Bradley Wong, that really cramped their style early on in all of this. But take a look at their reactions. From an investigator's standpoint, that would have stood out like a flashlight, screaming guilt.
That are over our place. It's usually Friday and Saturday nights, mostly. So if the people out there that are flying the drones, if you like to watch a 60-year-old woman on a Friday and Saturday night and have nothing better.
So here we go again. You talk about directly making it about yourself here, right? So now the drones are not out in search of Jack and Lily who are missing, but they're specifically out surveilling Janie and Daniel, looking at them through the windows. And she's noting how much of an inconvenience all this search is to her life in that sense. So how all of a sudden did all of this blame get put on Jack, Lily, Malaya, and not Daniel? Daniel's the one who brought all of these, people home. Janie said it was only supposed to be for a couple months early on. Well, what happened? Believe me, they're tweaking anyway, so the paranoia is ripe, Norbeaster. Carol says, I agree that auditory witness, a combination of them from different vantage point, heard that same loop of vehicle activity at that time, and they completely want to dismiss that up front as horseshit. Yeah, right. Horseshit is right. The how they handled that situation, we never got to figure that out until much, much later. And they were already preemptively addressing it in the CBC interview, and right around that time. It tells you how important it was to them. No way the cops believe these two. There's no way. Their story is too unbelievable. Hey, baby.
To do, you go ahead. And I'd like to say something else. And for all the people that are driving by, taking pictures of my property and taking pictures to see that what we're doing in the yard, I'm going to let you guys know I am scared of being in my own place because I stick mostly to my RV and my backyard, because I never know that when somebody's going to blame us for what's going on.
Doesn't even make sense, honey.
When I got there, I said, do you want me to stay with the baby? You can go look. She goes, I'm going to stay with the baby. Okay, said whatever. So I went looking. So that was the next thing, was when she was told that the baby had to leave the residence. She's exactly told she did not have to leave the residence. They just wanted the baby off the residence, from the residence. As like, this whole scenario isn't something a kid should be a part of. So the baby was going to come to my house. So she's never been apart from the baby. Never. Like, she's meadow. So I said, you're more than welcome to come too. If not,
Holy mackerel house music. Thank you very much for the $25 super chat. Happy New Year to you, by the way. Your commentary is always on point. Well, I'm even toning it back today. I appreciate that very, very, very much. I'm toning it back a little bit. Because if I go too far, then it takes away from the problem at hand. You think Logan and Daniel have something going on? Patriot girl? Holy, don't even get me started. Logan's got a real identity problem, a real issue with the way it is that she looks. And you can tell that because we've seen how she looks through the lens of the CBC camera and global news camera, and how she portrays herself on social media. And you wouldn't even recognize the two. Like, #no filter. That's sarcasm. Listen, there's somebody for everybody. If that somebody is one of your cousins, that's what you're insisting, I can't talk to that or speak to that, but I would hope not. She's supposedly married. I wonder how many of those babies come from the same daddy. Like, I mean, her old man can't be that bright in that sense. Like, holy shit, how did you get into this? He knows how whack his wife is. This is the one who claims that Daniel has proven himself many times. About what exactly there, Logan? You know that she's lying about something. She's referring to Jack and Lily as animals. What has Daniel proven himself? Many times over, I wonder. Oh, Carol Johansson, thank you very much, darling. Much love to all, and to all. Prayers for Jack and Lily. I appreciate that, darling. Logan has her Facebook single. Oh, really? Oh, maybe I should drop her a love letter then. Maybe I should. Maybe you're onto something. Nobody out there has babies from the same daddy. Nobody out there has babies from the same daddy. Mr. Hemi says. I wonder how many baby daddies she has. Is that a better way to phrase it? Is that what you're trying to correct me on, Mr. Hemi? It probably came out wrong. I've been smoking the endo, though. Well, Logan's single, hard to believe. Yes, she's got such a great attitude. She's just a real caring individual. You can gather that from the conversations that she's had with, what is that, Hidden in the Fog, or what is that channel that these come from? I can't remember off the top of my head. Something about fog in that sense. This gal, she was really all about, pushing Daniel and Derwood's narrative in the beginning. I'm not so sure about now. In these particular situations, it's okay. You don't have to feel bad for being so suspicious of Daniel and Janie. You have every reason to, and you need to say something. You need to scream it. You need to make your own videos and upload them and call these sons of bitches out. Not just that, look at what it is that they're doing after the fact. This is another level of evil. Animal Keeper says, an asshole I knew in Nova Scotia had 9 women knocked up. Few of the women were married. That's not what we're saying. Well, maybe there is a reason for that. We're talking about specific ones here in this circumstance. You're getting drunk when Martel and friends getting cuffs? I wonder how they're going to charge them all. That's just going to take some time. That's what's taking all the time. The incident's going to be the worst case scenario. And if we're, I would say the general consensus is that poor Jack and Lily met their fate by way of an out-of-control stepfather who was unable to control his emotions due to the fact that he has admittedly abused a particular substance every day for years and years and years. And there is a pattern of behavior leading up and escalating up to this particular situation with Malaya standing by and allowing all of this to happen. Seemingly. And Janie, Janie's got to be associated with this than just knowing or thinking that she knows. None of this could have happened behind her back. She's there all the time, out in that RV, cooped up, tending to the chickens. Oh, not necessary to do that, Esther. The best champagne. I don't need alcohol to celebrate. Well, Jesus, Murphy. Tom Lou 2023, that's very generous of you. Oh man, when that happens, we should have a good night of celebrating and having a drink in a Zoom room. Well, I'll watch other people drink. I'll be the designated driver. I'll be the DD, but we'll be smoking on that. We'll be smoking. We'll be sipping our coffee with a smile on our face. I appreciate that, Tom Lou. Thank you. That's going to be happening. That will be happening. Do you think Daniel is going to have time to think about if he's going to flee the country or not? That'll be the next thing. Well, they're not going to leave any room for consideration. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen in an interview. They'll have him in there, and after about an hour, they'll get the shit out of him. He's not going to be able to leave after that point. You come on down here, Danny. We'll buy you McDonald's one more time, son. Got you all worked up. Come on down here with your buddy. Hopefully Derwood drives you down. Okay, Tom Lou.
Not. I am comfortable. I have 3 kids of my own. Like Malaya, I can take care of this kid. Like, I can take care of the baby, no problem. So, first the baby, it was just going to be the baby, and then she decided.
Think about how she's explaining this. Listen, I can take care of the kid. She's talking about it like you're in a scrum in football. Listen, no, let's do a different pattern. Give me the ball. I can carry this one. So you're trying to gaslight. It sounds like a whole lot of gaslighting by way of Logan in that sense. We've got it all planned out. Who's got it all planned out? My question is, I wonder who's got it all planned out. Daniel and Malaya and Logan? Who's we, I wonder? It's going to take some sorting out. I don't necessarily believe this. This is really what Cindy had to rescue Malaya from, because she saw this little plan as well formulating in the background between this bunch.
She was going to come with me. So, but then something changed and we were at the briefing. Her mother said something to her, and then I had to take everything out of my car and put it in her mother's car. And like I said, she had this whole plan, like she was going to drive her car into my house. Mm-hmm. And she was going to, and then the plan changed. Oh, I'm going to take the car to my mother's. Like, I'm going with my mother. Well, she didn't even come back for the car. Like, the search and rescue had her car towed to wherever she was because they left the car. That's how much of a hurry that was.
Yeah, and she gets into this pattern of really loose allegations and not filling in the rest. You're the one bringing this information to everybody, so you tell people the point. Yeah, she left fast, and you want it to make it look like it's something on her, like she has something to do with where Jack and Lily are now, but you don't want to commit to saying that. You just want people to think that. You'll see that pattern throughout in this particular too. Which is fairly common with this little group of people. The pattern, I mean.
To leave. Malaya stayed at the residence Friday night.
And just out of curiosity, because I think you said something and I wasn't quite sure I understood. When did Malaya's mother arrive at the house?
So she arrived Friday. She was there before I got there on Friday when they went missing. I'm not sure the exact time. We all tried to figure that out. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did Malaya's mother...
What? How is it she's just as stupid with times in that sense? That's selective stupidity right there. See, pulling together what time things happened shouldn't be very difficult in this situation after the fact. The fact that you don't want to identify is a red flag. You don't want to associate a time with it would say that you don't consider this to be as serious as everybody else is taking this situation.
Stay overnight there?
I am unsure, but she was there in the morning when I got back, when I came back. So she could have stayed the night. Like I said, I am unsure because I didn't stay at the residence that night. I went home. And Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
So what was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
From what I understand, Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her mother. So
what? Did you pick that up? Let's listen to that question again and listen to the answer. Already we have a problem here there, Logan. You don't like to stick to the question. You like to deviate, manipulate, talk in circles. Let's try this one more time.
From what I understand, Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great.
Listen to this question. Whoop. When I press play.
I think you said something and I wasn't quite sure I understood. When did Malaya's mother arrive at the house?
So she arrived Friday. She was there before I got there on Friday when they went missing. I'm not sure the exact time. We all tried to figure that out. I'm not sure.
So we know that time now. We've come to learn that time, and it was in, we got that information through the documents. I don't want to quote it right now, but there is an answer to that out there. But at this point in time, that shouldn't be a real hard question for Logan. Not that it matters, but I just want to set it up for this question that's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Malaya's mother stay overnight there?
I am unsure, but she was there in the morning when I got back, when I came back. So she could have stayed the night. Like I said, I am unsure because I didn't stay at the residence that night. I went home.
Listen, I can take the kid. I can take another kid. Just rifle him on in here. That's the plan. I can take another kid. I'll bet you can.
And Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
So what was...
Oh, boy, talk about misrepresenting a polygraph examination in its context to this case.
What was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
What was Daniel's relationship with Malaya's mom, Cindy, is the question, right? Why can't there be a direct answer to this? Why can't it be straightforward? So we're all straight on the question. See, this is a common way that they all twist. Almost every single question, they'll do that. They'll identify a technicality that would deviate away from what it is that you were really asking in the question. You see it in real time. We pick it up all the time. So what was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mother, Cindy? Well, what do you think it was like? Everybody in my chat? Leave that in the comment section below the video. Well, just moments ago, that Saturday he told Cindy to fuck herself. Get the fuck out of here. Tried to chase her out, intimidate her, all high AF. She was the individual who knows all of Daniel's issues in his relationship because of the nonstop communication that we know that Malaya and Cindy have, and Malaya and Patty. That drives Daniel nuts. He doesn't like that shit. What do you think that they're talking about? What do you think that they're concerned about? Her pattern of behavior behind the scenes. She wanting to continuously live in this fantasy realm out here with these dudes and do what she wants. Get drunk and high all the fucking time and not mind the children and engage in life and look after herself. She's going to have to take the first initiative to fix her own mental health. It's not going to come by way of a pill or anybody else in her life improving it. You're not going to have to worry about getting there, Malaya. You have to take the first step. You have to want to get better. You have to want to not be a lowly piece of shit. She probably realized that all the time, and that was probably centric about the conversations that she was having and how horrible her life had gotten ever since she got with old Danny boy. Old Danny. Dude, Tweaker Geographic. It's almost, you almost have to focus on that because of how sensitive. That's probably a good video to go back and do, maybe, if you can do it. But you could see his progression with this substance and the substance abuse and its effect on the relationship and how different he's represented it right up to this day. How sensitive he was in Mike Demand's live chat. Oh, I'll only be here, but you can't bring up rugs. I'll agree to be interviewed by you, but don't bring up anything about rugs, as though it was not relevant. He's choosing what's relevant to the conversation. That's a man with something to hide. Don't even give him a place to do it. It's only serving him now. A person doesn't need any more information to know that or about what is he lying about. He's using Malaya's silence to his benefit. He's continuing to carry out crimes against these children. He's continuing the conspiracy. And he's attempting to take all kinds of people along to justify doing it again and again. Lying, I mean. Why is he lying to you now? Or again, you mean that's just what, the cycle. That's what he does. That's what he'll continue to do forever and ever, for as long as it takes. He wants to be the dude that's right there to qualify all of his plausible deniability and all of these ideas that take you away from what's really important in the love and the bond between mother and child. Well, it was a funky dynamic, Carol, because first of all, what improved, what changed ever since they got out of Patty's house? Christ, Patty had to ask them to leave in that sense because she wouldn't improve her life in that sense. So they must have left under false pretense and got in the situation with Janie to lie to Janie and added stress on the relationship. Added stress that we don't know about in that sense, that they're hiding. Think about what it is that they do tell us and understand what comes with it. We've got all of the information through them. There's still all kinds of things that they don't want to admit to, but it's rather obvious. You just need to prove that they're lying about anything in this circumstance and that the kids are no longer alive. They'll be in prison for a life. Because when it comes to children in that sense, your silence, when put in the stand in a court of law, I don't want to paint it like that because it shouldn't be held against the witness. We don't run courts like that. But in particular, their perceived unwanting to answer any direct questions in that sense is going to come out in that place. Up to that point in time, they don't really ever have to add any more context or follow up with the question. They can say whatever they want. And they do. Took full advantage of that. Which is bizarre as fuck in a situation like this. It's going to be textbook in time. But they're not getting away with it. Like, sadly, Daniel is just that stupid to put himself in a position as really what he's doing is reverse psychology, or what used to be known back in the 80s. Maybe people still refer to it as reverse psychology in that sense, but it's not going to work here. It's one thing if you came forward and had this Kaiser Soze fucking moment that you think that you're having, and that you're just going to bullshit your way through this no matter what, because you really don't have any other choice. You're more likely to give them and direct them as to the questions that you're going to receive. No matter what, it's all going to come back to what happened to Jack and Lily. The polygraph doesn't mean shit. It was just an opportunity to have a bunch of professionals look through a one-way mirror at you and watch your punk ass as they asked you that question. There is no pass or fail of that, son. You've already failed. They still need to figure out what the fuck went on. You're failing. If it matters. If you're keeping score. You don't want to be fucking keeping score in this situation. Daniel, you're not ahead. But again, your freedom might be all that you're pursuing in all of this.
From what I understand, Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her mother. So
now, do you see how she didn't answer that question? I didn't ask you that. I asked you about what Daniel's relationship was with Malaya's mother, not what Malaya's relationship was with her mother. What does one thing have to do with the other there, Logan?
So she arrived Friday. She was there before I got there on Friday when they went missing. I'm not sure the exact time. We all tried to figure that out. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did Malaya's mother stay overnight there?
I am unsure, but she was there in the morning when I got back, when I came back. So she could have stayed the night. Like I said, I am unsure because I didn't stay at the residence that night. I went home. And Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
So what was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
From what I understand, Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her mother. So Daniel's poison.
And so, bitch, you can't trust anything that comes out of Logan's mouth. She doesn't believe in what it is that she's talking about in this sense. Not at all.
Poison is, from what I understand, poison. Like he always said, and he said this in his interviews over and over again, is every time Malaya got ahead in life, her mother pulled her back. So, well.
Ooh. Oh, that's so Shakespearean. Yeah, all the vague lies, says Carol, they're not terribly bright, and they will pay the earthly consequences first. Oh, sadly, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong when this comes out. people are going to be spitting on his food in prison? Is that what you're figuring? Daniel hates Cindy because he can't control Malaya if Cindy's around. Yeah, right. Why does he want to misrepresent? Why does he want to misrepresent what Malaya's relationship with Cindy, regardless of what it is? Again, why does Logan? Stuff warrior, she knows it all? You mean she acts like she does? Oh yeah, she's a real busybody. She's a piece of work.
We'll just go with that.
I just find it strange.
And poison. Like he always said, and he said this in his interviews over and over again, is every time Malaya got ahead in life, her mother pulled her back. So.
Yeah. You're saying that Daniel has said this over and over and over and over and over again in interviews. She also loves to add all of these extenuating words, these extra words, all kinds of red flags and statement analysis coming right at you from these, if you were keeping track. But Logan's talking about how Daniel is repeating and all of these things. Think about how she's exaggerating the situation. In fact, I would consider that almost a straight up lie. So you're telling me Daniel has, in interviews, all of these interviews over and over, well, where are they? Number one, all of these interviews, he's been really disparaging Cindy and all of this. Well, that's his fucking problem. But at the time, it's therefore they must have something to do with what happened to Jack and Lily. So don't look here. DM will go in prison as an asshole and they will make him into a manhole. Oh. Oh, he's going to be popular. Holy shit. He's going to cry like a little bitch. Oh, she was ahead of what exactly? Carol says. Ahead in life with math head Daniel. Please spare me. Oh, yeah. I mean, Logan is really misrepresenting what the truth was about life around the trailer on Garlock Road. I bet you would well, we'll just say she's not representing it very well. As accurate. Oh, they were madly in love, Daniel and Malaya. They just loved each other so much. Really what that does is shows you how willingly and easily they deceive and are willing to lie in this particular situation about anything and everything. It's really a demonstration of that. When you catch on to it and you get to know them, you realize how much they've lied about. Pretty much, well, everything important, and I said everything.
We'll just go with that.
We'll just go with that.
I just find it strange how the grandmother...
So that was her way of not answering the guy's question. Oh, shit. And that is common in this group and the greater one, even with Jordan as much. It's the same sort of thing. When you don't want to answer a question, you just up and pick something, just start talking and pick something and identify. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. We had a miscommunication. It's all about plausible deniability in that. But with specifically these individuals in this circumstance, it's very common. It's worth mentioning because people, they're trying to reach out and communicate with new, and there's people talking to them that might not otherwise know. So just laugh at it. There's no such thing as having a conversation with any of them. Why is that, I wonder? Just how far did the abuse go with Jack and Lily? Because that is a question that I can't answer. But at some point we're going to be able to answer and see. I bet you it's a lot further than what it is that we already know at this point. And maybe that's what Kent and Derwood have to do with all of this. Could be. We're going to find out.
Would convince her daughter to leave
the residence
instead of staying with her to look for these babies.
That woman has never shed a tear the whole time she was there. My dad even stated that. He goes, I cried. Like my father
evil.
cried and cried and cried.
Why is you've got to exaggerate like that? You mean your dad is that much of a pussy? Where he's going to get in front of a group of people and just cry and cry and cry for no reason? So why was he crying? Why was he doing this crying episode, as you say? What was the reason for that? There is no reason. It probably never happened. Janie was crying like this. Crying and crying and crying. But that was for self. That was out of fear because there was a situation that was far outside her control. My dad was crying and crying and crying. Malaya wasn't crying, but my daddy was crying. She's going a bit far there, I think.
This is a 55-year-old man. And he cried for those children. And
Well, how do you know?
My grandmother didn't shed a tear.
Now I know you can't speak on death.
Fuck, she's eating as she's talking. Can you hear her? It's like she's eating this big slice of cake, or maybe it's deviled eggs. Big mouthful of deviled eggs as she's talking. She couldn't even wait to stuff that in her mouth, and she still went ahead and answered the interviewer's question. That's so offensive. Welcome, Julie B715.
Daniel's behalf, but what does he really truly believe happened to these kids?
That's something that he has stated all along, that...
No. Daniel never states it. So here's Logan misrepresenting it, something that he stated all along. What are you, his fucking lawyer? You got to reiterate all of these things? Are you his personal manager now? Or are you his ball handler? Special Olympics, if you catch my drift.
It's something that has to come from him. Honestly, he believes they were, I think he believes that they were picked up by now.
What? You're trying to tell the world that Daniel's said many times that they've been picked up by now? What does that mean, that they've been picked up by a stranger because they voluntarily walked off the property that day, never to be seen again? That's just how it happens? Like, can you fucking believe it? By the way, Daniel's never even said that. He tries so hard to avoid committing to anything. And when he does commit, as much as you can get out of him, it's indirect. But it doesn't matter what he says publicly, to you, to me, to anybody. It matters what he says to the RCMP. Or perhaps she's really saying everything for her father's sake, Roseanne. Nobody cared for the babies from the last time they were with Belinda and Chelsea. something happened. You know, something happened, all right. You're right, Esther. All of them only talk about themselves. It's unbelievable. Crazy. Back at the end of the call, Logan calls a kid Jack that she's putting to bed, and I can't see where she has a child named Jack. It bothered me since I first heard it back then. Did she? Oh, we'll have to keep an ear out for it. Crazy. Did she say somebody? And she's got all kinds of kids running around there. She's a single mom. Oh, gee, I wonder why she's single. Poor children. The mom's a catfish. Here's a woman who should be on Dr. Phil.
Like that they were abducted because there's no sign of them in the woods. He doesn't believe they're in the woods.
Your answer don't make sense, honey. But here she is, all willing to speak for Daniel at this point in time. Remember, this isn't a new video. This is over 4 months ago, 5 months ago, earlier on. Like, think about what it is that she's saying at this point in time, compared to what we know to be true. People's minds have caught up and surpassed this moment of time and knowledge, especially people in the audience and people who watch this afterwards.
Uh-huh. So he really doesn't believe that mom had anything to do with it.
That's something I don't know because, like, you know, you always have your line of doubt, right? Like, you always have your theories and your saying, so I can't speak on his behalf on that. Like,
What? Can you believe the shit that comes out of this woman's mouth? Like, what is it you're trying to say here, honey? A second ago, you couldn't wait to speak on his behalf. Again, he's repeated it many times, and you couldn't even get that right. Now you're really hesitant to speak on something that he's otherwise thrown Malaya under the bus many times thus far, and you don't want to speak on it? He doesn't think about that anymore? Only when he needs to? Only when he's in a bind?
Like,
yeah, I understand. It's just, I just know that they both used each other as an alibi and in the morning in regards to the situation.
Absolutely. And no, I don't believe he believed or believes that Malaya had anything to do with the children missing.
A question that I have is, did Malaya have, or do you know, if Malaya had her own cell phone?
Yes, she has her own cell phone. I've called her on it.
Okay. And Daniel has his own cell phone?
Absolutely, but they're a very open couple.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Absolutely, but they're a very open couple. Do you know what that means in this circumstance? It means that Daniel surveils Malaya. Oh, we do that. We watch each other. We check on each other because we care. No, that's not why you surveil your significant other. That's not why you follow your girlfriend. You do because you're unhealthy. You surveil her probably because you're either pimping her out and you can keep tabs on where it is that she is at any one time, which your money. But it probably goes a lot further than that because you really don't have any other honeys in your life other than this Malaya. You're not going to make much money with just one girl.
No, I was just curious.
I see that. Did you think Malaya met somebody else type deal?
Oh, no, that's not where I was going with this. No. No, I was actually thinking back to when Daniel had said that he had gone out looking for the children and that the police, he had offered up his phone to the police to check the GPS and, you know, all that sort of thing, right?
Absolutely, yeah. No, they do have separate cell phones.
Okay, all right.
And the cops even gave Daniel a cell phone while they took Daniel's cell phone. So, like, yeah,
Right.
no.
Okay.
I don't know, like I said, like whatever she has offered up or whatever she has done, if she had a lie detector test or whatever she has done, I can't speak on her behalf anymore because I haven't seen her since literally that Saturday, but I haven't spoken to her since that Sunday.
Uh-huh.
So did it come as a shock to Daniel that she actually up and left him?
Yes, 100% like because one moment there was an altercation at the end of the driveway, which was me and one of Malaya's family members screaming at each other.
Also, it was Logan claiming that she was involved in this altercation with Haley. You're lucky Haley didn't fucking smack you silly, honey. Why is she so invested in protecting Daniel from any wrongdoing and all of this blindly without even wanting to consider any of the blatant truths that are in front of everybody's faces, I wonder? Anybody smart would just stay silent. Is it that she's just that stupid? Or is there more to it? Is it more incestuous than that?
And the cops were called down. So when the cops came down, they took Malaya aside. They took my mother aside because my mother said she was part of the altercation, which she was. I was as well. And my aunt. We all got spoken to by the police. Malaya literally told the police officer right then and there, like, this is the happiest I've ever been. I feel the safest when I'm...
Yeah, listen, that was probably in an effort to de-escalate the situation. Yeah, there's no need to go any further. It's already escalated to a point. It's like, yeah, everything's good. I've never felt safer. Meanwhile, she's not about to come out and start speaking the truth and isolating herself away in all of this. She's already committed to bullshit lie when she got in front of the camera and made all of that babble. The indirect claims about what it is that was happening in the morning. But what it is a record for the jury to see that she wants the jury to believe that she was in and out of sleep, otherwise unaccountable, justifiably unaccountable, which that's not a justification. You're still neglecting your children if that were true. So what is it that she doesn't want to admit? There's already deceit at hand. Nobody starts the story off as I was drifting in and out of sleep. And that's not going to fly in this circumstance. And that's unfortunately how they want to introduce this scenario to the world and then slowly deviate from their initial claims on the basis that they haven't found Jack and Lily yet. That's not how this is going to fucking work. And it doesn't work like that. You see in the Helium 4489 a lot of exaggeration from Logan. You see it. It's interesting to go back and listen to it. Well, whether she did or not, Staff Warrior, I don't doubt that she didn't tell police that everything was fine there. It's just a way for her to get away from any of the points. She's acknowledging the disagreement, but she doesn't really want to tell you much about what the disagreement was about. Why was there a need to go hands-on to start screaming at the end of the driveway? You're treating Danny like he's special needs and he's the retard running around, tweaked out like Golem from Lord of the Rings. My pretty.
I was here, like, even when she left, Officer Mason was dead shocked, as was Daniel, that she actually left. Because she told the officer that it was the safest she's ever been. So.
Well, there goes that theory. I guess it doesn't matter anymore, does it? She's gone. She gone. She couldn't wait to get the fuck out of Dodge. What does that say? That's what the officer would have been shocked about. Ooh. We have some answers. Looks like there was a problem. So why would you why would you undermine the significance of her leaving in that sense? Obviously, she really wasn't as safe as she felt, or as safe as she wanted to lead on, which tells officers that there's all kinds of stuff that she doesn't want to talk about. That's going to take a while.
When
After her mother got there.
that was before her mother got to her.
And I just want to clarify, when you're saying that, she was saying that this is the safest she's ever felt, meaning in your company and your family's company.
Yes,
correct? Yeah,
absolutely, yes.
okay.
So, to
But-
know that he got home to go contact her, that he was blocked and deleted, was a complete and utter shock.
How old is Malaya?
Malaya is 27, I believe.
And Daniel's 30.
32, I believe.
Okay. I just want to mention something. There's 211 people in the room.
Oh,
Could we get people to
congratulations.
tap, please, and just boost the channel? It really helps the channel a lot. So if you're sitting here watching and you're enjoying the content,
Shut the fuck up. You're crazy. Oh, hit a thumbs up, motherfucker.
Very close. They had a child together. He raises their kids. She helped raise his other kids. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't see any issues.
and has Daniel had the opportunity, since this has happened, to visit Meadow?
No.
So who's preventing him from... Is it Malaya that's preventing him from doing that?
From what I understand, it's Children's Aid.
Sorry, from what you understand, it's who?
Children's Aid.
Why would Children's Aid withhold access to his child?
I'm not sure. And this is the type of situation.
Yeah, boy, the real mystery's here. That's ain't no fucking mystery, honey. Oh, just beyond me. Sounds like the right question. Sounds like somebody that doesn't want to answer. You had no problems, getting more specific on all kinds of other things, but this, a busybody like you, honey, would be right on top of. She doesn't believe any of the words that are coming out of her mouth. She only felt safe, says Miss K. She only felt safe that she knew where her next hit was coming from. That too, probably. There's not going to be just one answer to all of this, too. It's always going to look, I feel, that Malaya waited way too long to get out of this scenario. Like, obviously, she believed in Daniel to a certain point where she felt confident enough in stealing from her own family, violating their trust, because she felt safe enough with this individual to take advantage of them in the moment. So that says a lot for the timing of things in that sense. Like, you're not practicing a lot of foresight with for the future or building a family when you do things like that. You're not thinking about those things. You're thinking about your own immediate needs and desires, your gratification. And somehow it sounds like she wanted to punish Cody in the courts and send him a message somehow. So she had some sort of resentment and hatred towards Cody, and she wanted a court order to keep him out in that sense, but still pay child support. Doesn't make sense. So she's, in my mind, she's got an unrealistic expectation in all of this. It's more self-serving than it is anything else. Like, usually it doesn't seem like there was a real reason to be in court in the first place if this was going to happen. Like, and I don't mean the death of Jack and Lily. I mean, for you to take the kids and isolate their father out and do whatever it is that you want. You were looking after yourself and your immediate needs, what would make your life easier in that moment, rather than incorporate the importance of your children's lives into your everyday life. So when she met Daniel, and it has to mean when Malaya met Daniel, the Daniel that she first met, that guy, that has to signify the difference between what the Daniel is now and the Daniel that she first met was what she found out the day before she went in to get induced with Meadow. And it was the severe abuse of the mathematics, the Tina, the Jib. And he is out confidently telling anybody, strangers, that he does it every day. He microdoses the mathematics on the daily. And that's me paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he's telling people. And that's on record. It tells you about the mindset and the hardships that the household suffered in the months leading up to May the 1st and May 2nd.
That I've never been in.
Like he even, I mean,
and he has proved himself over and over again. So, and
what? Like the title says, he's proved himself over and over again. That's not even, listen, proved, he's proven. E-N. And he's proven himself over and over again in regards to what? What has he proven? That he's got the right stuff? That he's allowed to fly on the space shuttle? What exactly there, honey baby? And he's proven himself over and over again to be an absolute liar. A liar every step of the way in all of this. And a manipulator. And all on the backs of two children that he can't even pretend to like. You don't even look like a person who enjoys to be around kids, Daniel. Okay? It's very difficult to sit there and try to relate that to a greater audience when you can't and don't legitimately like the children you're talking about. It's very difficult for people to fake, especially here. They don't do a lot of faking about it. They do a lot of minimizing and not talking about it.
CPS issue with this is kind of not my spot to say. So what goes on there? But no, from what I understand, and this is the only thing I'm going to say about it, is I believe it is CPS that is doing this right now.
So is it
Like,
Malaya
I'm
or is
surprised
it
that
Malaya's mom that has access to the little one right now?
The baby, Meadow is in custody of her mother. Like
Okay.
Malaya has custody of Meadow at the moment.
I don't understand why they wouldn't allow Daniel access.
I don't understand why, if this is a case.
Malaya has the baby.
Exactly.
Well, the quick answer to that is because he's a drug abusing psycho fool who's out trying to cover his tracks on a crime that he's just committed. Peggy Lopez says she's sick of all these lying people. Somebody needs to confess and tell the truth. Well, would be convenient, right? But we don't need them. We don't need them to admit to what happened in all of this in order to prosecute their punk asses. They don't want to tell us what happened. That should be a sign to you about, one, why and who's guilty of it, no matter the intricacies of it. The motive is unimportant.
Made allegations of domestic abuse.
Even though it's all over the place.
To go to family court,
it's hard to miss.
He should be allowed at minimal right now supervised access.
Absolutely, we've been going through all that, but as of right now, we're working on that. So that's something I don't really want to discuss, is like his doings with the children at the moment.
So it's interesting how she phrased that, isn't it? We're working on this right now, as though you and Danny have some sort of reason to be dealing with all of this together. Cousins, you guys are fucking probably banging each other. I concur with the guests in my audience. Dude, you're probably fucking your cousin. That's disgusting. If I was in Vegas right now, if this was Poly Market and that was up there, I would put some money down on, yes, there's incest going on within this immediate circle. So not only do they misrepresent the point, but it's in a gray area. You guys are fucking disgusting. Well, it couldn't be anything legal. You certainly wouldn't want Logan here helping you with anything that required any sort of brain work. Oh, I need a girl in my life. He's sexting over there. He's probably sexting her. Maybe he sent her a cock shot. Well, I mean a picture of one of Janie's chickens, I meant. There's something going on up in these hills. Yeah, just how it just really, really bothers me. It's like that scene from Deliverance, right? Danny's just like that. What sort of unhealthy sexual behaviors have Danny picked up during his tenure microdosing mathematics, I wonder? OMG.
Right. And that's fair enough.
And I don't believe she's met anybody else. Like I said she felt the safest in everything.
But it goes far beyond that, because when you realize that Logan is hyper jealous of Malaya and has to compare herself under her sock accounts and talk negatively about Malaya's appearance and looks and weight, and then you go and take a look of what the person who's doing that shit talking really looks like Logan, like I'm saying. When you realize what Logan looks like, it's like, holy fucking Darwin Award. Honey, you are the last person that needs to be putting anybody else down about their looks and their weight in comparison to you. You gave yourself away on all of these chats there, honey baby. People are following it. Logan can't handle it. And she's attacking Malaya publicly on Facebook, talking about her weight in comparison to hers and how much better looking she is than Malaya. That's because she's competing with Danny, her cousin. Oh, you're so fucking handsome. She loves how wrong it is. Call me daddy, Danny. She's probably a tranny. I think Logan has an Adam's apple. If you look closer in some of her Instagram pictures, I believe I see it. The Adam's apple.
So everybody's saying that maybe she met somebody new. I don't believe that. Her and Daniel were great. So I can't.
So just your gut instinct. What do you think? And if you're not comfortable, that's fine. I mean, what is your gut instinct? What's going on with Malaya? Why is she doing all of this?
I believe her mother's kind of manipulative. From what I've seen of her.
So they all want to point directly to what it is that they're guilty of doing, obviously, in this circumstance. That's a no-brainer. And they want to put blame on Malaya's mother as being the manipulative one. One, they're acknowledging they know exactly what manipulation is and where it's used in these circumstances. They just give themselves away here. Logan, you're horrible at this. You couldn't be any more manipulative than this conversation. But Cindy's the manipulative one. Of course, she's up here to make them look bad because it gets the heat off themselves. They've acknowledged that by talking about that in the reasoning why they feel, and I use parentheses, why Bradley Wong and his wife came forward with IDing them that particular evening of May the 1st into the 2nd. And Justin Smith. Like, they acknowledge these certain concepts in context.
Why would the mom want to do this?
I don't know, but what I've met of the mother, I've been Daniel and her have been together 3 years. This is the first time I have ever met the mother, and like I said, and you know when you get vibes from people, you know, Jesus. Even when I was putting my phone number in Malaya's phone for her,
you're going to just take her child from her? You're going to rip your child from her? And she didn't even have your number in her phone? You want to talk about manipulation? You're gaslighting her. You were pressuring her. You were coercing her through Daniel. So you're coercing her by proxy in that sense. No different. There's a lot of power. There's a lot of people that have things against Malaya for whatever reason. Whether it stems from some deeper sexual fantasy. But there's definitely something here. And it's worth pursuing. There's more to this sinister story.
When she was leaving, her mother seemed like I was doing something wrong. Like, she was like, what are you doing with Malaya's phone? Like, what are you doing? I said, I'm giving her my number so she has me to call. Like, I'm a safe place. Like, why are you being so nosy on what I'm doing to your daughter's phone? Like, you know what I mean?
So all of a sudden, after the fact, you're so close to the family that you offer her your number as a safe space after the fact? What are you, some sort of slip and fall lawyer? It took to this in order for you to be concerned about Jack and Lily, or to be involved in anybody's life there on the trailer, people just down the road. Excuse me, but it's really difficult for Cindy, the mother who talks to her sometimes 3 times a day, every day, to even have to entertain your fucking bullshit at this point in time. What is it you're trying to do here? You really listen, they can't even represent directly what it is their issue is with Cindy. Under the guise of wanting to respect people's privacy, all while they're making this video of putting people on blast. Get the fuck out of here. Shit or get off the pot, bitch.
Right. Like, why? But when I did try to call Malaya afterwards, like...
My point to all of this is Logan knows pretty much that there's more to the story here, and she doesn't care. She's going far above and beyond than just telling you what it is that she believes. She's going beyond, and she's defending somebody who's a clear guilty motherfucker in this circumstance. All right? Therefore, she has to be knowing a lot fucking more about what happened and what they had to do and what they planned to do. So she's in hard with the conspiracy. Also known as punishable by law, bitch. That's why she's relevant at this point. So we can consider her in the know. And she's really, if we're to take a little bit of what she says to be serious, she would represent it as being in the know. She knows what it is that she's trying to protect. And how irrational it is. It is. You're absolutely right, Chip. It's disgusting. Because, we don't know what the incident was, the fate of Jack and Lily, that led to the need to carry out such an extensive conspiracy and just putting it back onto the victims and really pushing this, well, we don't know what happened. Look, they walked out the door and we've never seen them since story. And they're showing all the classic signs of deception every step of the way. At what point do you call a spade here? So no wonder it's taking so long, because it's not just that simple. There's a lot more people involved here. Maybe they need to hire some people down there at the RCMP. Let's take this 24/7, baby. Well, I don't know about that, Chip. The anger and the disdain for the children and the living situation had been there for quite some time. So putting a real finger on what stemmed off what we believe to be Danny carrying out some sort of violence on two children because he was too high to control himself. And what was the trigger in all of this? It would be the realization that Malaya was wanting to leave with their new car. They got their new plates that Wednesday. That they were going through this process. Maybe Malaya saw it a certain way, Danny saw it another. And it led to some sort of rage event that they all can turn around and blame back on Malaya, because of course if she hadn't have done something, they wouldn't have had to take the lives of two innocent children in all of this. That they really have come out and said that don't really matter, because nobody, their father isn't in their lives. Nobody really cared for the children to begin with. Therefore, they're not deserving of care in that moment. And the care that they do get, their mother isn't giving to them. And Daniel has to look after them. So Daniel takes the opportunity to overstate his role in their lives, and the same lives that the teachers are calling back and calling in concern with abuse and maltreatment in the household. So because what is this getting to? Because he's had to interfere or do what otherwise Malaya should have been doing in the first place and did it his way, because he's the step parent, they're going to treat him differently. This is all smelling of discipline gone too far. Which, funny enough, he's known for. So he's got a history of it. With this has got several different eyewitnesses, including his own children. So he's got a long history of this. It's only the writing on the wall, but he wants you to believe somehow this time is different. It's just a matter of time. They're doing this because they have an uncooperative witness at this point in time. Well, that's, yeah, I'm not saying you all have to think that way. Listen, you don't, I try to keep it open because I don't expect to be right about everything when it comes down to the finite details. I don't have to, nor do I want to know them. I know that you've lied. It's what's important in that court in order to get a successful prosecution of murder. And he's lied so much. It's not just an airtight story that, listen, this story is so loose, it doesn't hold any water. It doesn't hold any weight. There isn't any great back and forth, any great argument. It's so blatantly obvious how neglectful that they were, and the language that they use. Who is at fault here? What really happened? Sure, we'd like to know what happened. That'd be easier. They could tell us, but it's not necessary. There's no way that the RCMP are going to allow that one just to roll by. These are 2 children. That's definitely the most logical. That would be the next step in the escalation. It would be nice to get Jack and Lily back. What did he do with them? We don't even have to, or authorities don't even have to pursue that. If it comes up, great. It would be nice. It would be the right thing to do, but I wouldn't expect the right thing to be done at this point in time, considering the behavior of the individuals involved. Why is Janie so goddamn scared that the police were there wanting to snoop around her RV, I wonder? Why and what was it that she was covering up? All the same thing, all the same circumstance.
Blame me, I should say. I am scared to death that somebody's going to come along and do something to me while I'm in my yard. That's how scared I am. Now, all these here interviews that Daniel have done,
the only reason that she needs to be scared is when people find out the truth. She knows the truth, and that's what's terrifying her. An innocent person doesn't think like that. Doesn't put themselves in a position to be a victim of some illusion, some random people driving by, even cars slowing down. Wave. Talk to people. Now you're being victimized by what's otherwise going to happen regardless. Listen, Janie, you're terrified because you know the truth and you know what it is that you're hiding. That's you acknowledging your conscience, honey. You know what you're doing is wrong. But you're doing it because lying is okay for family. And you're lying for Danny. You're lying for your Danny, because if it wasn't for that nasty Malaya coming into his life and him having to do something in the lives of 2 children, if it wasn't for him having to do some parenting, he wouldn't have had to go hands-on. He wouldn't have had to punish them the way that you taught him how to punish the kids.
I'm scared it will turn out to be like a porta pack. That's what I am scared of. I told the investigators this, and they more or less can't do anything about it because they're on public property, If they step foot on my property, then there's something I can do. Yes, I believe the kids are alive. And the reason why I believe the kids are alive is because my heart is telling me they are alive. If they...
Ooh, she's evil. Do you see how off she is about even trying to seem human in that sense, trying to relate to love and hearts and feelings? Yeah, she's misrepresenting. She doesn't have a real good grasp of what it is that she's trying to communicate. Acting badly, the combination of compulsive behavior, sexualized fantasies, CPS involvement, the CAS here, yep, and both children disappearing raises serious safeguarding concerns, including the possibility of SA. That's on the table. I'm glad you mentioned it. Of course, we recognize it. We acknowledge it. I'd be astonished if it wasn't at this point too, Bonnie. I'm expecting it at this point. And it's probably why Derwood and Kent are associated with it. Because those two, Kent seems like the types of individual who would have all kinds of CP on his phone. We should send, what's his name? Alex Rosen up to see him from Predator Hunters. Go up and visit this son of a bitch. Try to bait him into a trap. Get him set up to meet some 14-year-old that he's romanced. That's what Kent reminds me of. It's been alleged, says Julie, in another chat, she found out he was cheating. So did the blood test trip reveal an STD? Oh, God, that interrupted. They don't care about STDs. But why would they protect him? She has to be involved. Why would she? Because if one goes down, they all go down. Self-preservation. And Malaya is not that type of person. She's scared. She's hiding. She's trying to ignore this problem in her life, and hopefully it'll go away. In other words, people are going to have to ask her the right questions at the right time. Just a little bit of time. She's definitely key to this case. She was negligent prior and perhaps abusive. So hiding her own crimes that led to this. Yeah, that's a great answer too, Carol Johansson. It's a strong possibility. They have their reasons in this, but it's a relevant question. I get you. One that probably has a few different answers. Truth, I really hope anyone who withheld information about this case will be punished for it. That's an interesting point. Will they be punished? Absolutely. Because it would have to include everybody giving false statements in that regards. Do you know what I mean? It would depend. It would depend. Sometimes it's difficult because we don't know exactly what it is they said in their statements to the police. But for people like Derwood and people like Kent, oh yeah. That little fucking chomo's going to get his pecker caught. That household was never stable. Miss K is saying, I get you. Just because there's a roof over your head doesn't mean it's a home. You need some paintings on the wall. It's simple if you don't treat it. Nothing changes. Whether it's mental health, rugs, something has to give. You have to take the first step. You have to be that prime mover. I get your point, though, Miss K. Did she lose it with one of them and the other one saw it? I don't know about that. Think about how fucking evil of a move that is. That you had to consciously make the decision to murder twice in a row, as opposed to maybe you locked them away because that's your way of dealing with them when they're noisy, and that was outside for a little bit and they froze to death. What if they went out in the dark? Well, two of them. We have to get the information out of these assholes. But it's interesting to think about all the different possibilities of the cover-up now. How they went about covering it up and who's associated with it in that sense. Where are the precious little packages? Where are the bodies? Yeah, I don't subscribe to that, Annie. If Malaya did something in the moment, these cocksuckers wouldn't have any problem throwing her under the bus. That's their pattern. They're doing all kinds of talking for themselves. They're really signaling it to the world. Ooh, we don't really know her. We can kind of get a sense of her participation in things. We know that she got up in front of the world and lied. She recited a rehearsed story that was pushed to her by the individuals that are probably responsible for the incident, the unaliving incident. What's that, Esther? Bonnie, she knew about the rugs, drink parties, but said the most worrying was an older man involved. Older man involved. That's got me thinking about Derwood, old dirty Derwood. Running around. People are talking about in the background that he's a chronic masturbator. He's one of those peep and Tom types. He's a chronic masturbator in the area there. Next time you see him, ask him if that's true. I mean, Annie, I guess it's a safe question, you know. Like, we don't know the answer to it, but probably not, I would say, given the circumstances. But in a legal sense, that people, that, you know, I could be wrong. She could be more culpable than I realize. You know, I'm just thinking, I'm not thinking in that sense. I'm just thinking in a street sense in that sense. Too many sense. What's wrong with chronic masturbators? Sarah James says, asking for a friend. Nothing's wrong with it if it's in the confines of your own home. But the problem is with Derwood is that he's out showing up on other people's, CCTVs and Ring doorbell cameras with his cock in his hands. That's a crime. He wants everybody to see. He's one of those. He's a voyeur. Oh Lord, Derwood beating his nasty old meat. That's probably why his old lady kicked him out. If Dan sorted things out for her, and after he and Jay were interviewed and lied to the world, they were in pact. They couldn't get out of. Yeah. There's definitely a bond there, but it's just a matter of time before all of that breaks down. Because these lies were only good for the moment. They weren't, you can get through the paperwork that they weren't at all eager to help the investigation forward in revealing any relevant information or even telling them an accurate depiction of their days. They revert to not remembering all kinds of qualifiers, red flags, contradictory stories. That all focuses around them at any particular moment in time rather than somebody else. And then on that, it changes. Oh, hello, hey, hey, Shannon. Thank you, darling. I sent my request. Check my email. Okay. I'll check afterwards, if that's okay. I appreciate that, darling. The voyeur, watch them as they're... yeah. Listen. They do a lot of circle jerking publicly. They love to talk about each other and push their own false narratives. Oh, you're so important, Derwood. Oh, yeah. You read somewhere that her grandmother asked her about drugs and MBM, said that she didn't know Daniel was addicted for the first year. I call bullshit on that, you say? You can't hide being a math addict. Yeah, one wouldn't think so, but I don't think that she cared very much. She was just into the lifestyle, like it wasn't something that she was really worried about, so wasn't looking for type of thing. Looking back on it, she probably knew. Is it even important? But the fact that she acknowledged it, yeah, you're probably right in that sense, Shannon, because, she volunteered up this piece of this date. Just the hour before I went in to be induced with his child, I found out that he was a meth addict. Like, that really accentuates the fact that you're even more of a victim somehow there, right? Like, it exclamates the surprise that she's trying to convey in her statement. Not very well. There's better ways to do it, but I probably agree with that. Danny's math addiction is linked to hypersexualized behavior. What the hell happened to that statement? Hold on. Okay. She took it back. Probably silver gold. I don't think necessarily that she was engaged in the activities necessarily. She had her own vices. But we don't know for sure yet. But it was no doubt and a primary factor in the fate of Jack and Lily. It was a contributing factor. It controlled the house. She shouldn't have taken the statement down. She was correct. MBM is so full of shit. You're right. You're right, Sarah Jane.
If they are deceased, I would have, just like everybody else, you'd have this feeling in your heart that you can't explain. And your gut feeling. But no, I definitely believe the kids are not deceased. I believe they are alive. Where they are, I cannot tell you. As I said before.
Like, how illogical is that? There's no way that she wants to even touch base or have the conversation about those kids no longer being alive, because it would lead to the reasons why they're no longer alive. And she doesn't even want to go anywhere near that. So she'll more or less stick to the irrational claim for no apparent reason. She wants to believe that the kids are still alive, even though you also want to believe that they just voluntarily walked out the door, and you're not even considering how cold or how impossible it is for a 4 and a 6-year-old to survive any great length of time outdoors. With no clothes, in the dampness. Yeah, she is a clear liar, absolutely, Annie. Professional victim and lousy parent. So she's certainly not convincing me that she didn't know his addictions, you mean? Yeah, she's probably sharing a lot of the same ones. She has her own problems. They're all in that lion lifestyle. They're trying to cover for, well, maybe multiple different things.
If I knew where the kids were, I would go and get them. I would not care what kind of shit I got into. I would go and get them. And there's another thing that I would like to put out there. I would like whoever has the kids, or whoever knows where the kids are, please, if they want to and they want to get out of trouble, please drop them off where they pick them up at night time. We do not have cameras. We do not have an outside street light. It is pure dark.
Listen to her. She's giving all of these fantasy kidnappers all kinds of information what they should do in order to drop them back off where they pick them up. Come on, man. So what are you saying then, Janie? You think that somebody came out here and picked them up? Well, you were just 5-10 feet away. You wish that's what happened.
If you watch a video of someone that saw me supposedly filling potholes in, how dark it is, because they drove by to show everybody how dark it is. If they want to drop the kids off of here, and if they got the kids to yell, my dog would let me know that they're out there. I will go get them, and I will make sure they are.
See, that's is that one of the examples where she first introduced this, her being outside while somebody was driving by filming her fill in potholes, and then it changed to leveling out the ground for the pool story? Hey, Natasha Taps, Happy New Year, darling.
Hey, the only thing I can tell you about that is I had nothing to do with Jack and Lily's disappearance. I know Daniel did not have anything to do with Jack and Lily's disappearance. The reason I know that, I know in my heart that Daniel would not harm those children. The answer relies with Malaya. She hasn't spoke up.
Interesting. The answers lie with Malaya. That's going to probably turn out to be a lot more true than she'd like. Did the tracking dogs pick up their scent at all? Yeah, I think in the driveway. Not like it was a guaranteed scent that it took over and it brought somewhere, but their scents should be around the house to begin with. But it didn't lead to anything. They didn't pick up on any scents in that sense. There was no direction. I've seen cases, Miss K, where 18-year-old was thirsty. His mom left her methadone dose in a cup on the bench because she used, oh my God. Son came home after a party. He thought it was alcohol. He drank it and overdosed. I'm sure that happens. I think that's not a possibility in the circumstance, considering the amount of physical abuse that we knew that was going on at hand. It's too hard to lie. You can't ignore the physical abuse. It's more probable that an escalation occurred more so than anything, especially that we know that they've been having problems, and it has to do with Malaya leaving. So it's going to be for all of the same reasons. And old Danny boy, when he's under the influence, he can't control his emotions. And you add the element of paranoia to it. The level of paranoia this asshole is under is phenomenal. And his fight and flight and his dopamine levels are all over the fucking place at any one point in time. So could you imagine him walking into a room and there's Malaya driving his paranoia through the roof by, he can overhear certain words, and he's even more sure that there's this grand conspiracy against him, and she's got it in for him, and all of these otherwise irrelevant emotions become important to him in the moment that drives his anger, his rage that's about to explode. Because he's not going to go off on his own child, and she's always with Malaya in that sense. The closest thing are Jack and Lily, because they've constantly got to be tended to. They're 4 and they're 6 years old. They're a full-time job, and according to Danny Boy, seems that he got sick of this new job that he was just assuming, doing all the work that he says is Malaya's duty. He's doing the cooking. I don't believe any of it, though. He probably had a way that he dealt with the kids, and it had to do with that voice that they listened to, and screaming and threats. Do this or. Yeah, the Shannon, when Daniel said that Lily had a black eye when they disappeared, that's why she didn't send them to school, in your opinion? Yeah, well, I'm not putting a whole lot of... I don't doubt that she did. It just falls in line with how he likes to lie and deceive in that sense. The fact that he's even talking about it and already has a big story for it would suggest that it's there's a bit more to the story than that, but I don't doubt that he was going hands-on with the kids. He was inappropriate. It's just a matter of what we can figure out, what we can prove. Malaya might be important, but knowing the fact that Jack and Lily are no longer here would suggest that he's responsible for wherever it is that they went. Through some of this super Danny parenting. He's a hardcore parenter. They didn't want to listen to him. He's got his ways and his methods of raising these children, and they violated maybe some of his rules or Janie's rules in the house. The whole living situation was contributing to a toxic environment. And they didn't have any answer or any way out. They didn't have any... It broke like it was going to break because there was no light at the end of the tunnel. There was no goals that you guys wanted to achieve together. There was no point. You had no end goal for being together. You just like to get high and fuck. Okay? You don't have any aspirations in that sense. No room for self-improvement. That's suggested by what Patty and Cindy had to say about having to move out of that property. Malaya was having a hard time with that. Fuck, if you gave yourself something to do, you wouldn't be so goddamn depressed all the fucking time. That could be Lana. Bonnie, the day this asshole was peeking through his fingers to see if the reporter was seeing him cry was the day I knew he was guilty AF. That too. Listen, there's been a couple times. Old Danny he just likes to trigger off at like a certain word that he introduces. A little bit of emotion come his way. Talking about what Jack and Lily liked and didn't like. Remember when he told the world that they just are out looking for a good time? Like this is some sort of rock and roll paradise or something. These 4 and 6 year old will go with anybody. They just like to hang out and have a good time. They're just looking for a good time. Fucking guy. Too many of these linguistic slips in this sense. Listen, asshole, are you going to tell us what you did with Jack and Lily or not? Something tells me that's the big no on all of this. So it looks like the RCMP has to do it the long way, the hard way. He said he went and turned on the light for the kids at midnight to check on the kids, you mean? Turn the light on for the kids? What were they doing at midnight that they needed the lights on? I thought they were supposed to be in bed sleeping. That would say it doesn't matter. He doesn't really have a statement for that, an answer to any of that. It's not consistent out here in the public, and it's probably the same gray area for the police. Shannon says this about the Wells case: you either have to be a genius or a complete idiot to pass polygraphs. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to put you through. It's not like it's a grammar test or a test that you're going to pass or fail necessarily. It's just another tool. They love to misrepresent it in the interview room as well. Depends how much of you're buying, what they have to do with it. Do you remember when Steve-O, they hooked the polygraph examination up to those pads on their testicles? That's stupid. Those guys are so immature. Oh, you guys, yeah. You guys. Listen, 2.5 hours. I'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. I think Justin's going live. listening to some hardcore Christmas carols in the background. Guys, thanks for sticking it out. Thanks for listening to this Lion Logan, by the way. Let me know what it is that you think in the comments section below, and I'll leave you with a little bit of that G-funk again. That's all wrong. Whoops, wrong one. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit.